Your car is sitting still, but that RPM needle is playing hopscotch. Up, down, dip, surge, and you're not even touching the gas. The engine feels like it's choking, struggling just to catch a breath. Sound familiar? It's more than frustrating. It's a warning that something under the hood isn't right. In this video, we'll uncover 11 reasons your car's RPM fluctuates at idle, what it means, and how to fix each one before it becomes a costly repair. And here's the deal. Stick around to the end because we'll share the ultimate tip that could save you thousands in repair bills. Let's dive in. Reason 1. Dirty or faulty idle air control valve, IA. Did you know the idle air control valve is essentially the gatekeeper of your engine's idle speed? When your foot is off the gas, this small but crucial component takes over, managing the airflow that bypasses the closed throttle plate to maintain a stable idle. But here's the catch. Over time, the IA valve can collect carbon deposits and grime, especially if you do a lot of stop-and-go driving. This buildup can cause the valve to stick or respond sluggishly, leading to fluctuating RPMs, stalling, or even surging idle. Here's what to look for. Your car engine revs up and down while idling. The car stalls at red lights. You notice a rough idle after cold starts. How to fix it? Locate your car's IA valve, usually located on the throttle body. Pull and clean it using a throttle body cleaner. Be gentle not to damage the internal spring or solenoid. If cleaning does not give desirable results, then replace it. Pro tip: you can reset your ECU by disconnecting the battery for 10 minutes after you replace the IA to help the computer recalibrate. Reason 2. Vacuum leaks. Your engine relies on a sealed vacuum system to regulate airflow, fuel delivery, and timing. When that seal is broken, whether from a cracked hose, worn gasket, or loose connection, unmetered air sneaks in. This disrupts the air-fuel balance, making the engine run unevenly, especially when idling. But here's the problem. Unmetered air entering the system confuses the ECU, which tries to compensate by adjusting fuel delivery. This results in rough idling, surging RPMs, and sometimes even stalling or engine hesitation. Here's what to look for. Pissing sound from the engine bay. Engine idles high or fluctuates unpredictably. Check engine light with codes like P010701 or P0174. Lean condition, how to fix it. Inspect all vacuum hoses for cracks, wear, or disconnections, especially near the intake manifold and throttle body. Use carb or brake cleaner to spray around suspected leak points while the engine is running. A change in RPM indicates a leak. Replace any damaged hoses or tighten loose fittings. If the problem persists, check gaskets or PCV valves as potential culprits. Reason 3. Failing mass airflow sensor. The mass airflow sensor, MAF, measures how much air enters the engine, allowing the ECU to balance the fuel-air mixture accurately. When the sensor gets dirty or starts to fail, it will lead to unpredictable idle behavior. Here's what to look for. RPMs bouncing or surging while idling. Noticeable loss of engine power, especially under acceleration. Sudden spike in fuel consumption. How to fix it? You can perform a quick test by unplugging the MAF sensor while the engine is running. If the idle smooths out, it's a strong indicator the sensor is the problem. Start by cleaning the MAF sensor with a MAF-specific cleaner. Never touch the sensor wires as they're extremely delicate. Let it air dry completely before reinstalling. If cleaning doesn't resolve the issue, replacing the sensor is the most effective solution. Reason 4. Dirty throttle body. The throttle body controls how much air enters your engine when you press the gas pedal. At idle, the throttle plate stays mostly closed, allowing just enough air to keep the engine running. But if dirt or carbon builds up around the edges of the plate, it can stick or block airflow. This disrupts the engine's ability to maintain a smooth and steady idle. What to look for? Sticky or slow-moving throttle plates. High idle speed even when the engine is warm. Inconsistent or fluctuating RPM at idle. How to fix it? Remove the intake hose connected to the throttle body, open the throttle plate manually, and spray throttle body cleaner around the edges. Use a microfiber cloth to wipe away grime and a soft toothbrush to clean hard-to-reach spots. Make sure to clean both the front and back sides of the plate thoroughly. Reattach everything and start the engine to check for improved idle. Reason 5. Faulty coolant temperature sensor. The role of this little guy is to tell the ECU how hot or cold your engine is. If by chance it sends the wrong signal, it can trick the vehicle's computer into adjusting the fuel mix inappropriately. What to look for? Rough engine idle, especially after warm-up. Black smoke from the exhaust. Poor fuel economy. How to fix it? Replace your faulty coolant temperature sensor and CTS, which usually threads into the cylinder head or thermostat housing. Ensure the engine is cool before you remove it. Important CTS issues normally throw a check engine light. A basic OBD2 scanner can confirm when the sensor is misbehaving. There's a link to one of our best scanners in the description below. Reason 6, intake manifold gasket leak. The intake manifold gasket creates a tight seal between the intake manifold and the engine block, making sure that air only enters the engine through the proper channels. When this gasket becomes worn or damaged, it can allow unmeasured air to leak into the engine. This disrupts the air-fuel ratio, making the engine idle too high or run rough, and may even trigger the check engine light. What to look for? High or uneven idle, especially after the engine warms up. A ticking or hissing sound coming from the engine. Diagnostic codes like P0171 or P0174, which indicate a lean fuel mixture. How to fix it? With the engine running, spray carb cleaner around the base of the intake manifold. If the RPM suddenly changes, you likely have a leak. Replacing the gasket will fix the issue. It's a more involved DIY task, but can be done with basic tools and patience. Be sure to torque the bolts in the correct sequence to avoid cracking the manifold or warping the new gasket. Reason 7, worn or dirty spark plugs. Spark plugs ignite the air-fuel mixture in your engine cylinders. If they're worn out or dirty, they can misfire, especially at idle, causing the RPM needle to bounce and the engine to feel rough or shaky. This misfire disrupts smooth operation and affects both performance and fuel efficiency. What to look for? Engine feels rough or inconsistent at idle, sluggish or weak acceleration, noticeably worse fuel economy. How to fix it? Remove each spark plug and inspect for signs of damage, carbon buildup, oil fouling, or excessive wear. If your plugs have over 30,000 nm on them or show visible damage, it's time to replace them. Make sure to check and set the correct gap spacing for your vehicle. Apply a small amount of anti-seize compound to the threads before installing the new plugs to make future removal easier. Reason 8, bad PCV valve. The PCV, positive crankcase ventilation valve, helps control harmful gases that escape from the engine's crankcase, redirecting them back into the intake to be burned off. But when the valve sticks open or fails, it can pull excess air into the intake manifold, throwing off the air-fuel balance and causing an unstable idle. What to look for? Listen to whistling or sucking noise. Oil in the air intake hose. The presence of the check engine light in your instrument cluster. How to fix it? Pop out the old PCV and shake it. If it does not rattle, it's jammed. Replace it and inspect the hose for clogs or cracks. Pro tip, do not block a faulty PCV hose to fix the idle. It can create crankcase pressure and blow seals. Reason 9, faulty EGR valve. The EGR valve helps reduce emissions by recirculating a small amount of exhaust back into the intake. When it fails or gets clogged with carbon, it can stay open and allow too much exhaust into the engine. This disrupts combustion, causing rough idling, stalling, and poor engine performance, especially when idling. What to look for? Rough idle or frequent stalling, strong fuel or exhaust smell from the engine bay. Check engine light with codes like P0401 or P042. How to fix it? Remove the EGR valve and clean the pinel and passages using carb cleaner. If the buildup is too heavy or the valve is electronically damaged, replace it. Clean the mounting surface carefully before reinstallation. Reason 10, weak alternator or low battery. Your car's electrical system depends on a healthy battery and alternator to supply consistent voltage to sensors and control modules. At idle, especially when you turn on electrical loads like the AC or headlights, a weak battery or failing alternator can cause voltage to drop. This affects how the ECU manages idle, often resulting in RPM dips or unstable engine behavior. What to look for? RPM drops when headlights or fans are turned on, flickering dashboard or interior lights, clicking sound when starting the engine. How to fix it? Use a multimeter to check the battery voltage. If it reads below 12.4 volts with the engine off, charge or replace the battery. Then check alternator output with the engine running. It should be between 13.5 volan and 14.5 LM. If it's below that, the alternator likely needs to be replaced. Reason 11, bad oxygen sensors. Your car's oxygen sensors monitor how efficiently fuel is being burned and send that information to the ECU to adjust the air-fuel mixture. When one of these sensors goes bad, the ECU gets incorrect data and may deliver too much or too little fuel. This throws off combustion and often leads to rough, idle, fluctuating RPMs and poor engine performance, especially during cold starts. What to look for? Check engine light, strong fuel smell from the exhaust, rough idle, particularly when the engine is cold. How to fix it? Connect an OBD2 scanner and check live data from the O2 sensors. If a sensor isn't cycling as it should, it's time to replace it. Use an oxygen sensor socket to avoid damaging the wires during removal. Always replace the sensor with the correct type, heated or non-heated, upstream or downstream, to avoid further engine management issues. Before wrapping it up, let's hit a few rapid-fire pro tips that will help you attain faster and effective diagnostics. Pro tip 1, always scan for codes, even with no check engine lights, because some codes are pending and won't trigger the CEL yet. Pro tip 2, use live data on a scanner to track idle RPMs, air intake volume, and sensor voltage. It makes your diagnostics more accurate. Pro tip 3, avoid shotgunning parts. Test before you replace, as you can address most issues on this list before spending a dime. Pro tip 4, always perform idle relearn procedures after you clean throttle bodies or replace valves. Your car must relearn its baseline. Pro tip 5, document every fix. It will help if the problem returns or while seeking help online or from a pro. Up to this point, you know your car is bouncing. RPM isn't just a weird quirk. It's a clear sign that something under the hood needs your attention. If this video saved you a trip to the mechanic, hit that like button and smash subscribe for more DIY tutorials and simple diagnostics that keep your ride running smooth. And if you're serious about maintaining a healthy idle, check out our video on bad throttle body symptoms. It could be the missing piece to your engine trouble. Got a different fix that worked for you? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your story and help fellow drivers solve their idle issues too. And there you have it, 11 reasons why your car's RPM bounces at idle and exactly how to fix each one before it snowballs into a costly repair. At Car Fix Free, our mission is simple: save you money, save your car, and give you the insider knowledge your mechanic will never tell you. If today's video helped you understand your car better, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because in the next video, we're uncovering the hidden maintenance tricks that could literally double your engine's life. Remember, every weird sound, shaky idle, or flashing light is your car trying to talk to you. And here on Car Fix Free, we teach you how to listen. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your engine smooth, your wallet full, and your car trouble-free.